Dining in.
Dining in? Okay, well, breakfast is over, okay?
Okay.
So you can sit wherever you like. You by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Okay, just sit where you like.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Well, I got a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Will I be able to get some chicken tenders, non-fried?
Yeah, we grill them.
Do you still got biscuits? Okay, I'll take those. Some biscuits.
You want sides with it?
Let's see. I'll take some. I'll take some corn nuggets. Do you have a veggie of the day?
Black eyed peas.
Black eyed peas.
I also have cream style corn and fried squash.
I think I'll take your fried squash.
Okay. Do you want any dipping sauce for your tenders?
No, thank you.
Okay. They're really good, just grilled them.
Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Life. Now, for starters, I'm getting ready to tell you what I've decided to do. I know some of y'all been waiting to hear what I chose to do, where I chose to live, and all that type of good stuff. Now, for some of you that have been watching this channel for at least the last, what did I say, year and a half or so, you're going to probably recognize this background right here from other videos I've done here. And for those of you that don't recognize the background, it's perfectly okay, because I know some of you are new to the channel. You may have not went back that far and watched a bunch of my older stuff. So let me fill you guys in. I have chose to move back to Alabama. And again, for those of you that have been following me for any length of time, you already knew. I'm pretty sure many of you already knew where I was going to be moving to. In fact, I am sitting in the office of the house that I own here in Alabama. Now, for those of you that have been watching me for a while, you know that I own two houses. I own this house and the house up in Indiana. Now, of course, I no longer want to own two houses. I rather live normal and own only one house. And since I desire to reside in Alabama, I am therefore attempting to sell my house up in Indiana. Now, of course, my house up in Indiana. I mean, I do have a couple of people keeping an eye on things up there during my absence. And now some of you might wonder, again, for those of you that have been watching me for a while, you already know why I'm back here in Alabama. But for those of you that don't know why I'm back here in Alabama, well, for starters, yes, I did quit my job up in Indiana, despite the fact that it was a good paying job and I liked the job. I liked the job, but not enough to where I wanted to reside in Indiana. And as I say again, Indiana's a wonderful place. I mean, they got a wonderful economy. People there, for the most part, are good people. It's just that I no longer wanted to reside in Indiana because, well, to be quite frank, I like it down here better. I like the climate better. I'm in closer proximity to places that I consider entertaining, such as Florida, and I'm within 6 hours of New Orleans. I'm right by Florida, so and I'm not too far from the beaches. So those are some of the reasons why I like Alabama better than Indiana. And of course, like I've been telling you guys on this channel, for those of you that have been following me, I like the climate down here much better compared to Indiana. Well, what am I doing down here for money? Well, again, for those of you that have been following me, you already knew that I've been out here looking for work. Now, I understand a lot of people right now are having trouble finding work in this current economy because, it's kind of messed up out there. Now, fortunately for me, after several tries of looking for work down here in Alabama, I finally found work in the region of Alabama where I currently reside. Now, here's the thing. This job that actually today was my first day of work. I just got off of work a little bit ago. So today was my first day of work. In this job that I just started, I'm doing the same kind of work down here as I did when I was in Indiana. Now, typically the wages down here in Alabama are lower compared to Indiana. Now, although I am making a little less money down here, I'm making less money down here compared to Indiana, but not by much. But here's where I think my new job that I have here in Alabama is actually better than the one I had up in Indiana. The benefits down here for my new job are far better. My health coverage is going to be far better. My other job, I didn't have no type of PTO time. This job, I incurred PTO time from the very first day that I began work, which was today. My other job, after a year, I would have only got a week's worth of vacation. This job, after a year, I get 2 weeks worth of vacation. And the company I work for down here is a little bigger, so there's more chances for me to advance if I want to go that route. And plus, this company down here, they do got 401k that will match the employee's contributions. The other job up in Indiana didn't have that either. So, without getting into too much detail, those are just some of the things that make my job down here better compared to my job up in Indiana. And the big thing is for me is, I like this house, the house I'm living in right now here in Alabama. I like this house far better than the one I was in up in Indiana. This house, all in all, it's a better house. And plus, it sits on a much larger lot compared to the house up in Indiana. Like down here, I'm not super close to none of my neighbors. Most of us have an acre, give or take, worth of yard. Down here, I'm sitting on an acre. My house up in Indiana was sitting on not even 2/10 of an acre. So there's a lot of futures about this house here in Alabama that I like far better than the futures with the house I have in Indiana. So that's another reason why I wanted to come back down here, because I like my house. I like my living setup down here far better compared to Indiana. And since I was unable to, now if I wanted to, I still could have kept both these houses. But like I told you the other day, I thought that was a silly thing for me to do because I'm only one human being. I can therefore only occupy one house at a time. So for financial reasons, I had to make a decision of where I wanted to reside, and I'd rather be down here in Alabama. And let's see what else here. I forgot what I was going to tell you guys. Oh, and another reason why I chose to come back to Alabama was because the majority of my belongings were down here in Alabama. And I just couldn't bring myself to come back down here and pack up all my stuff, have to pay a shitload of money for movers, have to spend a shitload of time packing up all my stuff in the boxes for movers to come and load it up in the truck. So the money it would have ran me to move, the time, the energy, and yes, the emotional aspect of me moving, because honestly, down deep, I really did not want to leave Alabama. I did not want to leave this house. I mean, down deep, I like it down here better compared to Indiana. So, due to all those factors, I chose to continue to look for work down here, and I chose to not give up that. Uh, I chose not. I chose not to give up looking for work down here until I found work down here that I felt made sense. So fortunately, I found that job. I mean, like I said, today's my first day, and I think I'm gonna like the company. They seem like good people. The benefits down here are better compared to Indiana when it comes to the job. And just so you guys know, I do not have my computer set up yet. I do not have my regular internet services set up yet. So right now I'm using my cell phone to record this video. So if the footage seems a little funky, that's the reason why. Now, on the next day I have off of work, I'm gonna work on my computer, and by then I'll have my internet up and going. But anyways, I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know what was going on. I told you guys that the next video, which is this one, I will let you guys know what was going on. So I want to be a man of my word and not leave you guys hanging for too long. And as I've told you guys earlier this week or late last week, I would try to do at least one video every other day, because these next couple of weeks I would be extremely busy. I mean, I'm still recovering. I'm still recovering from the last couple of days when I did a crap load of jobbing back and forth. Because before I came back down here permanently, I mean, a few days ago, I had to come back down here and get some and cut my yard. And plus, I wanted to put eyes on this house and check on this house in person. I mean, I had cameras on the house, but it's one thing to look at everything through camera lenses when you're across the freaking country. It's a whole nother thing to be at the property in person and to be able to actually touch everything. So I wanted to come down here, get things cleaned up a little bit, cut the yard, make sure everything was good and ready for me and Kitty to move back down here. And plus, I had to take care of some last minute paperwork for my new job. So I damn near feel like a truck driver right about now because I've been doing so much freaking jobbing. But it's all good. So yeah, in a nutshell, you know, see if I can think of anything else here. And honestly, I'll probably come back and do a part 2 of why I chose to come back down here to Alabama as opposed to remaining up in Indiana. In fact, when I was up in Indiana, I didn't even bother to change my driver's license or my license plates. I kept my Alabama license plates. I kept my Alabama driver's license. I did change my address temporarily so I would get all my mail up in Indiana. But when the rubber met, when the rubber met the pavement, I just wasn't trying to leave Alabama. I was not trying to leave. And in fact, I regret buying the house up in Indiana. I wish I would have stole my role, exercised a little bit more discipline, and not been so impulsive on that purchase. And haven't I done that, the money I have tied up into the house currently, plus the money I had to spend on closing expenses and money I had to spend on certain repairs I had to make over there, and other monies I had to spend that have to do with the purchase of that house, I could have hung on to that money. And if worse would have came to worse, I could have lived off some of that money until I found me a job down here. In fact, I feel if I would have been down here and I wouldn't have been worrying about a second house, I probably could have found me a job down here a lot faster. And I'm pretty sure I could have. So it is what it is, though. And I think I'm going to, just so this video doesn't get too long, I'm going to come back with a part 2. And I'm going to elaborate a little more on why it is I chose to come back down here. And maybe on that video, I might share a few of my thoughts about my house up in Indiana. So I'm going to leave you right here. Thanks for tuning in and watching. And as always, I appreciate every last one of you who come and support my channel by watching and giving videos like this a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Alright folks, stay blessed. I'll catch you all in the next one.